Good afternoon. Hi, I'm Polly from Houston Methodist San Jacinto. I'd like to talk with you for just a minute about the possibility of our hospital moving over to a solar-powered electrical system. There are both advantages and disadvantages to these systems. I'd like to go over a few of the advantages now. The first advantage for Houston Methodist moving over to a solar-powered system is that it's good for the environment by reducing pollution. We are in a very industrial area, and this is a bold statement to our community, letting them know that we are concerned about their health and wellness. Another advantage is that it does provide the hospital the risk of rising energy costs. According to the EIA's website, the average projected increase for this year are around 2.6%, and ranging into some areas could go up to around 7%. In addition to that, it does provide us some security for our sources in the future. Fossil fuels, we know, are not infinite. The sun is a renewable resource, and as long as it does exist, we still can produce energy. Now, some of the disadvantages for these solar-powered systems are, first off, the cost. A solar-powered system is extremely expensive. I did some research, and according to the Medical Waste Management News website, they have a comparable size facility to ours in Arizona, and their estimated cost was around $20 million, just under $20 million for their system. Now, according to the energy.gov website, or EnergyStar.gov's website, there are about 30% in tax savings that can be applied. That still takes our cost down to around $14 million for the system. We can expect to see a decrease in electrical bills of around $300,000 annually. Now, in addition to that cost, to install these systems, they recommend that the roofs be extremely solid. So we would also be looking at the cost of possibly replacing the roofs at our facility. Now, another disadvantage to these systems is that we would still have to be tied into a grid. The panels absorb around 40% of the sun's rays, so they're a little bit inefficient. We would have batteries available to absorb and store, but we would still need to be tied into the grid. Another disadvantage, and this actually comes from our fire and rescue teams, is that the panels are not completely able to be shut off. So they're constantly submitting down voltage through the walls there. The solar panels are comprised of photoelectric cells, therefore even something as small as a flashlight can activate them, which increases the risk of shock to our fire and rescue team upon rescues. Another disadvantage for the firefighters is that with the solar panels on the roof, they're unable to ventilate the roofs properly. So without being able to ventilate the roofs, the fires stay contained and they do spread easily. One additional risk, according to the firefighters, also is that the additional weight of the solar panels on the roof creates an increased risk for the roofs collapsing. So with all of these things considered, solar panel systems certainly have their advantages and disadvantages. I think it's best to be sure we think about all the advantages and disadvantages and weigh them out before we pursue this endeavor. Thank you.